Hey guys, today we're gonna make a Cajun chicken pasta. This is one of my favorite dishes. My kids love it. It's easy and perfect for the Mardi Gras season. Let's get into prepping all those ingredients right now. I like to go over all the ingredients before we get started. We had 2 bell peppers that we cut up, 1 large onion. I wanted slices of that onion, so that's why I just cut off that little core piece. Green onion will go in at the end to finish it. Heavy cream, 1.5 cups. You could probably get by with using less cream. Use some pasta water. I have fettuccine, but you could use any long pasta you want. I only have a half a can of plum tomatoes. We have 1 cup of chicken stock. So this is 12 ounces of andouille. Then we have chicken thighs here. And to season those chicken thighs, I used my homemade Cajun spice. Now I use this also in the Cajun ALFREDO pasta we did a little while back. So I only used 2 teaspoons of the spice on this chicken, and it has cayenne in it, so I was using my bare hands. Be careful if you do that. Wash your hands right away. Don't rub your face. So I sprinkled it on, and then the rest of this is what we're going to use to flavor our sauce. Last thing we're going to put in there is cheese. So I have a half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. You could also use Pecorino. You could use really anything you want. We're going to use the 14-inch stainless steel pan again. This is going to allow us to do the chicken, the sausage, all our veggies, and fit a full pound of pasta in it. In fact, with all this, it's going to come close to filling up this guy. So let's get our heat to medium. We're going to sear the chicken. Make sure with the stainless that you let it heat up for 3 minutes, 4 minutes before you put your oil down. Just give it time. By doing that, when you put your oil down and then your chicken, it's gonna skate. It's not gonna stick. All right, so my pan is hot. I'm gonna put just a little bit of olive oil down. You could use vegetable oil too. My pan might be too hot, but I think we're all right. If your chicken got a little wet, you can dry it off again. Even with the seasoning, it won't come off. You'll be all right. I'm gonna try to fit all 6 pieces. I think I can do it. Ooh, and that goes right up your nose, that cayenne pepper, immediately. So we're doing chicken thighs. They're probably gonna take about 5 minutes per side, maybe 6. You can go over 165 on a chicken thigh, but we're not braising these things or anything. We're gonna slice this chicken after it's done. So yeah, about 5-6 minutes a side. You can see how easily these things are gonna slide around because we heated up our pan properly. All right, look at that nice color there. Beautiful. That's great color on the chicken. And the Cajun spice helps it out. We'll let it go for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes more. You can let these cook longer. You can put some liquid in the pan. You could soften them up, braise them. We don't need to do that now. We want to move on to the next step after this, which is going to be searing the andouille sausage. Chicken's done. I'm going to put it over on the cutting board right here. And you can leave it tented so it stays relatively warm, and then slice it into pieces once it's cool enough to touch. So you want it to stay warm, but you want it to cool down so you can slice it. So I laid the sausage out. I'm just gonna let them get a little bit of color. Yeah, that's good. You want to keep most of the oil in here. So you don't want to have to add too much more. Now we have some of the fat from the andouille and the chicken. All right, so that looks really good. Let's put this off to the side. Oh, by the way, I didn't tent my chicken, but you should have been tenting your chicken. So you want to get these down quick before you start smoking. I'm gonna put all the peppers and onions in here. Now you could also try to soften these the way that we soften the peppers on the sausage and peppers pasta or the spicy pepper bucatini. And to do that, you just put some water in here and cover it. We do need some oil in there. It's not quite enough. That's why I like having my olive oil in my trusty little greasy spray bottle. All right, let these go 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Want to get them fairly soft and a little bit of color on them. Okay, while the peppers and onions are going, we can slice up the chicken. Okay, and then there's the chicken right there. All right, that's it. All right, and here's all the chicken. You just cover it to keep it warm. Peppers and onions are looking great, see that? They've been going for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna let them go for a couple more. And I'm on medium heat here. Just doing medium, so got a fairly strong heat. You know, this is personal preference here. If you like the peppers to have a little bit of tooth still, you know, you can stop right here. And if you want them to be really soft, just keep cooking them. I'm gonna turn the heat up even more right now, probably about medium high. And this is just chicken base, 1 cup. Okay. You can remove the brown bits with a wooden spoon. I'm gonna put in the tomatoes as well. I have half a can of tomatoes, so I have 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes. Bring this up to a simmer. All right, my water is boiling right here, and this has thickened up a lot. All right, that's good. Turn the heat down to about medium to medium low, and you can add your heavy cream. Mix this all around. This is gonna come up to a little bit of a simmer, light simmer, and it's gonna thicken. All right, so it's starting to bubble up. Pasta you can boil now. 2 tablespoons kosher salt into boiling water, into a gallon of water, roughly, which will give you about a 1 to 1.5% salinity, which is fine, is what you want. And the sauce is looking good now. So this is the Checo fettuccine. This is going to take 9-10 minutes. Once you get it where you like it, to about that thickness level, you can lower your heat. We have our heat low here, and now we can add some of the Cajun spice that we had from before. Because right now, we don't have a lot of flavor in here at all. We just have cream and tomato. I'm gonna start off with about 2 teaspoons. And the only reason I'm doing this, I'm not throwing all this in right now, is because this is spicy. So I'm gonna get it to my liking. If you're using like McCormick or one of those, they're fairly weak on the spice. And if you want to use blackened spice, it'll have that flavor, but it won't be as spicy as Cajun spice. But you do need a lot of flavor in here because there's a lot of cream. It's a lot of pasta and the veggies and everything else. All right, I really like the consistency of that there. But let's try it. Let's make sure that it tastes good. Definitely need more. And that's why on the recipe card, I have 2.5 tablespoons of it. And from my experience, it does take about that much. So that's good. I like that the way it is now. I'm gonna add in the chicken and the andouille. And you can see how much is in here now, right? Look at that. So even with that cream and everything, we're probably gonna have to use some pasta water too. That's why you always save your pasta water. All right, so let's get this all to coat really well. This is looking phenomenal. I mean, this would be great even without the pasta. That looks so good. When our pasta is almost al dente, like maybe 30 seconds, a minute from al dente, we'll throw it in here and we'll cook it for that last 30 to 60 seconds to get it to coat well. All right, so our pasta is pretty much good. So it's about 1 minute less than al dente. All right, it's pretty dry here, so I can pull this wet. But you still want to save some of your pasta water regardless. Because what can happen is if you're waiting 10 minutes for family members to get to the table, it can all dry out. Especially something like this will absorb, the fettuccine will absorb a lot of that sauce quickly. Come back to the center. See, I can move my stove around. I'm gonna toss this all in here. You could put the green onion on now. The green onion just makes it pop, makes it look really good. So just taste one. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna turn off the heat right here. Let's get the cheese on. All right.
The white shirt.
Yes, you got the white shirt on again. Nice. What do you think about this one, James? That's part of the green onion. Chicken.
I just want a lot of the green onions.
You like the green onions, huh? I cooked some of them in there, and then I made some raw.
Yeah, I just want a lot of green onions.
You can have this one.
Okay. Sausage is good. I I'm gonna go get water.
Okay. He thinks it's a little spicy, and it is spicy.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, what do you think, buddy?
I think it's good.
Now, you had this last week too, right? When I made the photos of it.
Jeez, these days have been going fast.
Yeah, they have been.
Yeah, the green onions are really good.
Special thanks to Patreon producers Chris Whalen, Steve Winitsky, Paul Walter Hauser, Elizabeth Shaw, Joe Hardage, John Andolino, Kenneth Parker, Matt Fisher, Richard C., Tom Bronca, Mike Tamburino, Matthew Amore, Richard P. Bornvanek, Matt Gramke, Alex Eckleberry, Andrew Uhas, Paul Batman, Patrick Lang, John Kelly, Jonathan Papini, and Ronnie Mazik.